Hey everybody, it's time for another Warrior Tech Tip of the Week. And this week we're looking at Google Earth and a lot of the resources that this site is going to allow us to have access to for free. And it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. And we're going to probably spend a couple weeks here on Google Earth. It's got a lot of different resources that we can use in a lot of our different classes. It's very interactive, it's very user friendly. And we're going to kind of take a lot of these things step by step and then talk about in a few weeks how you can combine all this together into your own personalized Google Earth program. But today, guys, we're going to start out with just introducing you to the website, some of the different features. We're going to talk through Voyager, Google Earth Voyager here in just a second to show you the different aspects that it allows you to have access to. And then we'll kind of introduce or preview a couple of different tools that we're going to show later on in the weeks to come. But very first, right off the bat, you've got the homepage here. You can scroll down, see some of the basic things that you're going to have access to. Creating stories in Earth is something that we're going to talk about at the very end of this series. They do have games like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? That's a throwback to my childhood, an updated version of that game that you might have fun playing and kind of reliving some of your glory days. If you remember, if that was something that was a part of your childhood like it was mine. We're going to see a good bit of time lapse today through Voyager, and we'll talk about that. There's all types of different games, different things that you can do. If you come over here to the Explore Earth tab, this is where we're going to kind of jump off. We're going to talk about Voyager here in just a second, but you can see they have an awful lot of stuff. We're going to talk about the explorers earlier. For those of y'all that may teach world history, that's going to be something that you're going to find very interesting with, and you can kind of play around with that before we get to the video here in a couple of weeks. And a lot of different stuff. We've got math. We've got science, social studies, ELA. There's stuff for you, the fine arts, all right, on down all the list. There's going to be something in all of this for you, okay? And we'll go through all these tabs later on. The resources tab is just everything under the sun that they have, and you can filter this down from the different categories, okay, the different tools that they have. You can see they've got Arctic explorations, they've got lifestyles, baseball, becoming an explorer. They've got the solar system, stuff that we can do all the way down to different types of energies. And like I said, Carmen Sandiego and different Earth programs here. But we're going to go back over here to Explore Earth. All right. And we're going to launch Voyager. Now, Voyager is a combination of things that Google Earth has partnered with people like National Geographic to come up with these. And this is something that there's going to be a little bit of something here for a lot of people. Now, Google Earth does take a little bit while to load. So you're going to have to be patient with it, but you're going to see they've got some pre-built stuff that you can walk through with your class or assign to your students. Great hikes around the world. I was playing around with this earlier. This is awesome. If you click on it, it's going to give you a pre-loaded set of hikes throughout Earth that you can click on and you can visit right from your own classroom here and right from your own table. It's going to give you 360 views. This is in Israel, so you can spin around. You can see all the archaeological sites. Some of these you'll be able to move around with. It gives you a little rundown over here on the side. Okay, and you can go through this table of contents. And like I said, guys, this is just an awesome opportunity here for your kids to be able to explore stuff that they otherwise would not have an opportunity to. And like I said, all this stuff is from Google Street View. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can rotate it on around. And in some cases, you can exit Street View and have an overall shot at it. So that's the great hikes around the world, the fun tool. If you can work that into your classroom, your kids will have a good time. If you're studying science, you got the level of sea level rise, kind of what maybe some of the coastal cities are looking at. You got a quiz on animal sounds. But then this is probably the most interesting portion, time lapse in Google Earth. And this is where we'll spend a good bit of our time. Then you've got 3D imagery in Google Earth that you can play around with, visit a lot of wonders around this world in 3D. But if you go to time lapse in Google Earth, okay, if you're looking at the development of different areas, particular sets, kind of the effects of time on places, if you're studying erosion, if you're studying human growth, human geography, all right, all of these are great things. So Google has pre-built some stories here. If you want to look at, urban expansion, sources of energy, changing forests. So if I want to look at urban expansion, I can click on that, and it's going to give me a tour of different cities throughout the world and show me their growth from 1985 all the way to present day. So it's going to start out in Las Vegas, and I can zoom in here, and it'll be a little pixelated at first, but it's going to take a second to load. And then I can see on a very specific level the growth of population in different areas of the world. And I can do a 2D or a 3D version of this. This is moving me to 2D directly overhead, or I can slide down to 3D. All right. And then I can grab this guy and I can drop down to street view and get a bird's eye view of how things change. And because this is a pre-built story here by Google, it's going to take me all throughout these different preset places, and I can take a look at this. So if I'm doing human geography, if I'm doing something with science related on, Earth science, and I can see how the Earth is changing based off of human population and industrial expansion, I can do that, and it's all across the globe. All right. So that's some of the pre-built stuff. Whoops. All right, let's go back. Still in my time lapse. Okay. All right. So I've got the stories. I also have featured locations, and these are broken down as well by different places around the world. So if I wanted to take a look at glaciers and how they have expanded or receded over this time period, just mega cities. If I want to look at how natural disasters have impacted certain spot, there's 10 pre-built courses that you can work through as well. Or I can search throughout the planet and find something that I want. So if I just want to look at Oconee County, if I want to look at this on a very micro level, I can do that as well. It'd be great if my great hikes around the world would disappear for me. So we'll restart this, and that did not help at all. But anyways, you can see that this will go down to the very minute detail. Let me exit out of that. Still don't want great hikes of the world. Come on back finally. All right, back to time lapse. All right, and while this loads, so I can look at any place in the entire world and decide where I want to look at for this about 35 years of data that it will have. Sometimes Google Earth gets a little bit behind. It takes a little bit. We'll finally type this back in, Oconee County. And I can look at the growth of Oconee County from 1985 to present if I'm trying to look at this on a micro scale. So you could take this and you could apply it to any place on the face of the earth. Like I said, there is a little bit of lag time. It takes Google Earth a while to download and a while to buffer. But I can sit here and I can watch how this particular area has developed since 1985. So that is kind of Google Earth Voyager in a nutshell. We're going to take a lot of looks throughout this, through Google Earth throughout the next couple weeks, probably throughout the entire month of November. We're going to look at explorers. We're going to look at games like Carmen Sandiego. All right, and we're going to talk about how a lot of this stuff can be integrated into your classes. If you ever have any kind of question, don't hesitate to stop by.